The old mansion on Willow Lane had stood abandoned for over 50 years, its windows boarded up, and its gardens overgrown with vines and twisted branches. Locals called it the Blackwood Mansion, but everyone in town knew it by another name, the House of Whispers. On a cold, foggy evening, a group of college friends dared each other to explore the mansion. Sam, Liz, Mike, and Sarah had heard the rumors. The house was haunted by the spirits of a family who had mysteriously disappeared one night, never to be seen again. The friends were skeptical, dismissing the tales as nothing more than urban legends. "Let's prove this ghost story is nonsense," Sam said, leading the group up the creaking steps to the front door. Armed with only their flashlights and curiosity, they pushed the heavy, rotting door open. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and the temperature dropped several degrees, sending chills down their spines. The house was eerily silent, except for the faint sound of dripping water somewhere in the distance. The walls were adorned with old portraits, their eyes seemingly watching the intruders. As they ventured further into the mansion, the floorboards groaned under their weight, and shadows flickered at the edge of their vision. "Is anyone else feeling weird?" Sarah whispered, clutching her jacket tightly around her. "It's just the cold," Mike replied, though his voice betrayed a hint of unease. Suddenly, a soft, almost imperceptible whisper filled the room. At first, it was too quiet to make out, but then it grew louder, clearer. "Leave, now." The group froze. Did you guys hear that?" Liz asked, her voice trembling. "It's probably just the wind," Sam said, though even he didn't believe his own words. "Let's keep moving." As they explored deeper into the house, the whispers became more frequent. They seemed to come from every direction, surrounding them, growing louder and more desperate. The air grew heavy, and a sense of dread settled over them. In one of the rooms, they found an old, dusty journal on a decaying table. Liz opened it, and her eyes widened as she read aloud the first entry, October 15, 1925. "We cannot leave. The shadows, they whisper to us. They tell us things, terrible things. My family is growing weaker. We must not listen," but the whispers grow louder each night. The group exchanged uneasy glances. "Maybe we should go," Sarah suggested, her voice barely above a whisper, but Sam, determined to prove there was nothing to fear, insisted they continue. They climbed the creaky stairs to the second floor, where the whispers became deafening. They echoed through the hallways, overlapping, pleading, "Get out, they're coming." Suddenly, the door at the end of the hallway slammed shut with a force that shook the walls. "Okay, that wasn't the wind," Mike shouted, backing away. "Who's there?" Sam yelled, his voice shaky. But there was no answer, only the whispers, growing louder and more frantic. Liz turned, her flashlight flickering. For a brief moment, she saw a figure, a shadowy figure standing at the end of the hallway. It had no face, just a dark, twisted form. Her breath caught in her throat. "Guys, we need to go now." But before they could move, the figure lunged toward them. The lights flickered violently, and the house shook as if it were alive. The whispers turned to screams, echoing through every corner of the mansion. The friends scrambled down the stairs, but the front door slammed shut, trapping them inside. Panic set in. They ran through the house, desperately searching for an exit, but every door was locked, every window sealed shut. The shadows seemed to grow, creeping along the walls, reaching for them. "They don't want us to leave," Sarah cried, tears streaming down her face. "They're just shadows." Sam shouted, but even he knew it wasn't true. There was something in the house, something old and evil. As they ran into the basement, the whispers reached a crescendo. The walls seemed to pulse, and the shadows closed in. In the center of the room was a large, old mirror, its surface cracked and warped. And in the reflection, they saw them, the original Blackwood family, their faces twisted in agony, their eyes hollow, mouths whispering. "They're trapped in the house," Liz whispered, horrified. "And now, so are we." The shadows engulfed them, and everything went black. The next morning, the mansion stood silent. Once more. The friends were never seen again, and the house remained abandoned, its whispers waiting for the next unfortunate souls to enter. To this day, if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear the whispers in the wind around Blackwood Mansion, warning anyone who dares to come too close, leave, now, before it's too late, but no one ever listens.